There we go. All right, here we go. So, yeah, actually, I
Hey,
I
now
did an
I'm
update.
here, so if that happens, we catch it immediately because he
That's
doesn't look
right.
at the comments.
That's right. So, thank you, everybody for joining us. And so I did do a updated my on the OBS here. So whenever I do an updated, I always have to match up my microphone again. So, thank you for joining us and letting us know that we have no audio.
Yeah.
And do thank everybody. Hopefully, you guys are having a great week. Christmas is coming up, and I was actually saying that I got this nice Christmas present today from Mark Shee.
Yep.
So it's a 3-in-1. It came with a coat and everything, and a couple other things in the package with it. So appreciate him sending that and being a member and such. So do thank you. And don't forget, we are recording this as a podcast. Podcast. They'll be able to hear it from where we started, so I'll have to cut that out. But yeah, we are recording this a podcast, so you can listen to this later if you want to. Of course, you have all the different podcasting apps we have on here. So find your favorite one up there. Somebody had said something about not having the that the podcast meant because it was for iPhone one up there, and that it's not it wasn't showing on there. But I think one of those is supposed to be it. I don't know. Maybe not. There's a Google one. Maybe not. Maybe I don't have room for the one but in there. But yes, you can find it on iTunes as well as all those different ones. So, and also, if you're watching this or listening to this on the podcast, you want to come over and watch it live. We do have a couple visuals from today from a Maverick we just received.
Yep.
That I think people want to know about. No interior pictures though, because it was locked up. But anyway, yeah. So we got some photos, so you might want to check that out if you want to. Link in the description for that as well for this video, for on the podcasting, I should say.
Yep.
Don't forget to while you're here, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so that way you stay notified when we have another video or we go live. And don't forget to smash that like button. If you're watching this on a phone, you will have to close the chat for briefly and then to hit that like button and then, of course, pull it back up. And so you can do that as well. So, all right.
Yep.
And welcome in our members.
Yeah. Mark, she says, told you it was in the mail. You didn't tell him. You told me. I kept it secret. I see Zoom Zoom Jr. We actually got some new members, too.
Who's that new one?
Steve Demopoulos, I think. Demopia? I don't know. Thank you. Welcome to the crew. And then Michael K. Stove 16. Welcome to the crew. We have Patricia Ward, MD Buck, saying hey. Stacy L. Roy Pass. We have quite a few members in here. All right. Yeah.
James
said
that he got
James
the first bump of his 23, went from the 16th to the 17th. That's a small bump though. That's just that's a build day bump. That's not too bad. It's when it's a build week that gets a jump that's bad. So and then we got Elizabeth and Patricia and Mav Everlasting's in here, and I got a lot of good members. And if you want to become a member, how can they do that, Sarah?
Well, you can. It's right beside the join button or the subscribe button down there. It says join. But if you are an Apple user, it's a little bit different. So you'll have to go to your browser and then go up to the little a and big A up there by the link for the YouTube webpage. Once in there, you will ask to go to desktop mode.
Hit that up there, and then you'll be able to see it. So there you go. So, that's how you want to do that if you're on an iPad or an iPhone. So.
And if you call and ask for help on that, I'm sorry, I'm not an Apple's user, so it's just, I usually go and ask someone with an iPhone, can I borrow your phone to figure this out real quick? So.
And if you do become a member or you are currently a member, don't forget you can you should get notification of the member information, but any videos and such that we post, you can find it under the membership tab on our YouTube channel. And now they opened the community tab back up. So I'll try to do some posting on there as well. So any posts and videos should be in the community tab as well now. So they had actually taken that away for a while, and I just got an email that says, you now can have community. I'm like, we could have it before, but you took it away. So I remember having it, but it is there. If you want to find that, a couple different ways to get that there as well. So, all right. So,
Elizabeth Kittrell, member of 4 months, says, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone.
oh, thank you. Yep, it is coming up, and next week we're going to actually have a year in review. So we're going to do a couple things for fun as part of the topic. Kind of talk about maybe some of the different things that people maybe we were talking about and have been talking about in the stream throughout the year, and maybe talk about a couple different some totals and some things like that, some other things for the channel. So, and let you also know some things that we're working on for next year. So we'll see how things go, but we have some plans for next year as well for the channel. So we'll talk more about that too next week. Make sure you're joining us for that, and we will live stream on Tuesday of next week as well. So, of course, the Christmas and New Year's is on the weekend, so it doesn't really affect our live stream. So
yeah, that's nice.
don't forget, we also do have merch site. You can see it below the video. You can also, the link is in the description if you want to go there. Probably have some sort of code going on right now. It always tries to do that. So, and then so also this last week, not a lot of videos went live. Really trying to catch up. We had our picture building that was down for a little while, so we've been helping our photographer help get caught up on those. So plus with my voice and such and getting over this cold, I haven't felt like wanting to be able to do videos. So
and I haven't been around to edit. And
yeah. So we have the only video we have is what we're going to talk about tonight. So I talked about that, what you need to know about your 23 Maverick for production. So that video went live last Wednesday. We'll talk about it tonight as well, so you won't miss anything if you didn't check out that video yet. Upcoming, we should finish out, hopefully this week, the 23 F-150 Limited and Tremor, and then we'll move on to, all we have left really is, other than a couple Lincolns, which we'll see if I do those or not. You guys probably find out in the near future. And then also Expedition and Edge, and I probably won't do Mustang because the order bank's already closed, so can't really order a 23 Mustang anyway, so I probably won't do those videos. Don't forget, Thursday night we'll be on Facebook. I will be on Facebook Live if you want to come on over and ask some questions. And yeah, so anyway, and don't forget, and links in the description for all the channels that we support that come in. Johnny's Car Caring Reviews, he's always in the live stream. He probably is in here, or he will join us here in a little bit. And then All Train Nation, I noticed they commented earlier when this video went live. So also as well, I watched both their live streams on Monday night, so check those out as well if you want, and links are to those channels are in the description. And then let's get into the Maverick that arrived. So we've received two of our first 23 Mavericks came in over the weekend. Both of them are hybrids.
Yep.
One was a Silver Lariat hybrid quit, and the other was a hybrid XLT black appearance package. So I posted a couple of these pictures on the Maverick Truck Club. People are like, we need more pictures. I'm like, well, check out the live stream. So anyway, so there is it's dirty. It's hasn't been cleaned up. I didn't have the keys to it. We had 5 truckloads come in like 2 days. So we were trying to get them all set up. And this is one of them, so I didn't have keys, couldn't get inside, but I got some exterior photos for everybody so they can see what's all included in the black appearance package, because there are some questions on some of that. So one of them is the wheel. Now I do like the wheel. That is a matte finish. It's not a high gloss finish to the wheel.
Yeah.
Little matte finish. I like the wheel. You know, Sarah had mentioned it may collect more dust at some point. It's possibly, but I like that wheel a lot. And then the grill is going to be in black grill. So XL is going to be a very different color of black than this. And of course, XLT grill will usually be a carbonized gray grill, and then the Lariat will be a chrome grill. So this will be the only painted black grill you're going to have here. So it looks pretty sharp. And then as you get a little bit closer, so that Ford emblem is different. So it is a darker shade, a bronze kind of on the outside. So pretty cool looking. And I think the rear one is pretty much the same thing. So there's the rear one as well.
Is this sold?
Is this sold? Of course.
Yes.
All the Mavericks are sold. They're all sold.
Yeah.
All pre-sold. So it is, yes. This is somebody that's been waiting for a little while and has actually sent us some stuff. Looking forward to having him come pick his up.
Yes.
The mirror caps are painted black, so they are high gloss black mirror cap. This is, by the way, an XLT non-luxury package truck. So this is a non-luxury package truck. Just so you know that, because some people were saying about some things, but non-luxury package, so keep that in mind as well. And then let's see here. So the mirror caps are painted black, but the door handles will not be on the XLT. So if you have XLT luxury package, we don't know yet if the door handles are going to be painted black or not. They say that in the order guide, but until we actually see one in person, it's going to be we won't know for sure. I think on the Lariat it will be, but I don't know. So, and then the headlight assemblies are going to be black bezels. So, kind of there on the outside, normally that would be a chrome bezel behind it, or bright is what they call it, bezel. So these are going to be blacked out in the back. The rear ones are the same way. So you can I tried to get some close-ups of that so you could see that. Again, it is still dirty, but so you're going to have that as well. And then the emblem on the side is, instead of being the chrome letters, it's going to be the black letters there. So, and then inside, which I wasn't able to get good pictures of, the seats, where the orange accents are, that's no longer orange. It's going to be black instead. The dash looks kind of darkened as well, and then the seats are black. You're still going to have the navy pair environment.
Was
with
this a
accents
22 that got moved to a 23?
Yes, it was. Yep. All of our first orders, except for maybe just one or two, are all carryover units.
Yeah.
They're all carryover orders.
And I think those that weren't were Tremors.
Well, yes, there were a couple that were new orders that were Tremors, but then also there was Jolie's, which I accidentally did not have the luxury package on.
Oh, that's
so
right.
it was one of those that slid under there because, again, if you don't have a luxury package, you don't have something that's constrained, then you can get slid under there, and so you're going to see some new orders being built as well. So anyway, so there we go. That's the black appearance package. Maverick. So we'll try to get a video of that. I know who this is. I've been meaning to email in the last 2 days, but I'll try to get in touch with him and see if he's okay with us doing a video on it, so we can show everybody in a video what that looks like. It's kind of cool. So got a couple others that I'm really looking forward to. I've been doing a lot of videos here in the studio, well, not studio, at the desk here, and I want to get some of these vehicles. And now that we're getting these 23s with these new packages in, like we got the first Rattler package in. I'm gonna hopefully do a video on that one soon when we get caught up in the picture building, and then I also want to do one on this one. And there's another one that came in that I want to do. So some of those new packages that are new for this year, we'll get videos on those and get those shown up so people know exactly what's included on those. So
Marshino something 20 sorry, my dealer in Toronto, Canada says cannot change the Maverick engine to EcoBoost because they are sold out in Canada. We're going to cover that later, right?
But I don't know about how Canada is, but the dealer amendment, we'll talk about the dealer amendment in a little bit, but all right, timestamp. We're going to try to do this because we've been it's really difficult to watch the video through, so we're going to get timestamps for you, so for when when we go on to new things. All right, scheduling notes, and you can see all that, the time frame right over here, right there, so you can see what we're going through. Scheduling information this week. This ought to be actually pretty easy. Not much of scheduling this week. This is the week of Christmas, Thursday. They're probably closed up and going home to spend time with their family. So here's all the plants that are not scheduling this week. So the Mustang is not scheduling. Escape, Bronco Sport, Edge, Bronco, Maverick, Ranger, F-150, Transit Connect, Van and Wagon. Maki is closed right now, so none of those are scheduling for this week. So none of those models are scheduling. And if you look at the Lincoln lineup, also the Corsair and Nautilus are not scheduling for this week. So what is scheduling this week? Looks like the Explorer is going to schedule. It says main February commitment. Base 100A is restricted from scheduling. And then Expedition, they're doing cleanup scheduling for January. Don't forget on those, if you do have a tow package, you need to add the heavy duty trailer tow package to the 203A, 303A, 304A. Those last two are limiteds. 400A, which is your Timberline, 501A, can't remember which trim that is. You'll need to make sure you select that heavy duty trailer tow package for scheduling. XLT 202A and the limited 301A will not be selected for scheduling this week. And then standard wheel for Platinum is not available right now. So it says select the optional 22-inch polish wheel to schedule. And then very limited dual exhaust system. That'd be your limited 30. Well, they don't have the whole thing here. I think it's 301A, or maybe it's the 303A. I think that's your performance, your stealth performance, and then the Timberline as well. Mahogany seats on the limited 302A are not available, and limited availability on extended length. So there you go. That's kind of what they're looking. So as we can see, this may not be the case every week. For this week, they are not needing those things to fill in the gaps of what they're looking for. So they already have the reason, mahogany seats they're not doing, the extended length not doing, because they already have enough orders of those. So they're trying to fill in with these other orders. So and then also 23 Super Duty startup scheduling for the Kentucky truck plant. No King Ranch Platinum or Limited, of course. Remember, we've talked about that. Those are job 2s. No programmable interface modular is going to be scheduled, and temporary restriction of the 11.6 axle. So, and then
When will Lightning resume?
Lightning resume
Scheduling?
Don't know. So Lightning is manually scheduled. So they aren't just like these are them, as well as the F-150 Raptor, as well as the Bronco Raptor. Those are manually allocated and manually scheduled. So
probably not
they
this week.
they schedule. You never know. I've seen them schedule on a Monday, sometimes a Thursday. So Lightning schedule at different times. And I know a lot of people just got orders in, so they're excited to get theirs scheduled, but it may not happen until next week. So. And 23 Transit, they are scheduling through 220. Same restrictions as the last time on those, so not much different. And then on the Lincoln side, we have the Aviator, just like with the Explorer. No plug-in hybrid scheduling is restricted, and then they're doing cleanup scheduling for the Navigator, just like on the Expedition. So there you go. So moving on, timestamp. All right, something I want to cover real quick that I think actually I was looking through it, I thought was valuable information. Hopefully you guys find it valuable as well, and that's this commodity report that Ford gives us along with the scheduling report. And I thought I want to go through a couple models to kind of give you some things to think about. I'm not going to go through all the models. If you want me to look up your model, if you have one scheduled, I can. Something to keep in mind, a lot of people are like, or I know a lot of people were like, on one of my videos, they said something about, I can't believe that they put out this vehicle that they can't even build, talking about the Maverick hybrid. And, I had to kind of remind them, I said, well, really, they're producing more hybrids in the Maverick than they are any other model. So in one point of that is, look at the 23 Escape. 23 Escape, their capacity is 8% of their Escapes being built as a hybrid. At least the Maverick's 35%, not 8%.
Yeah.
And plug-in is 11%. So if you add plug-in and hybrid on the Escape together, that's 20%. That's much lower than it is on the Maverick. So we should be very thankful if you have a Maverick order on that. And Bronco Sport, they are over capacity on the Badlands package. So if you have a Badlands on order, hopefully you don't have the Badlands package. If you do, not all of the Badlands with the Badlands orders with the Badlands package is probably going to get scheduled this year. So keep that in mind if you have that package. Hopefully you got your order in early. Full-size spares about even. They got splash guards on here. I don't even know why anybody does that. Do that afterwards, people. Come on. The Big Ben wheel, they made a note of pointing out that U.S. capacity is 6% and U.S. orders are 1%. Next we'll talk about that. There was a price increase this week, or price increase that I found that they haven't released that it's been increased yet. So, but it will. So we'll probably cover it twice because I noticed it. We'll cover it today, plus when it actually happens. Okay. Bronco. This is the one. So I've actually had some people. I told some people on the member video. If you watch the lot video that I did on Saturday, this is redundant for you. But if someone's putting in a new 23 order, here's probably ways you need to look at this and what you need to look at ordering. So if you're looking at getting a base or a black diamond, right now, currently 23 orders, they're even on what their capacity is on that. So if you were putting in a new order, that's going to put them over capacity, right?
Yeah.
Big Ben, they're way under capacity. So if you put in a Big Ben order, you're going to get scheduled. You'll probably get built within the 23 model year. Outer Banks is the same way. They're under capacity on the Outer Banks trim as well. Again, if you put an Outer Banks order in, you should be able to get yours produced this model year. Yep. Badlands is even. Actually, it's over by 1%, which means that currently already, what orders that are unscheduled are at their capacity. So if you're putting in a new Badlands order, likely is that you're not going to get a 23 built. And then Wild Track definitely is over. So if you want to put in a Wild Track order, they already have 27% of their orders are Wild Track and their capacity is 15%. Mm-hmm. So I already see that possibly some Wild Tracks from current Wild Track orders are going to get carried over. So something to take note of and think about if you put that order in. Just what is a realistic option or possibility of you getting a 20? You're getting built in the 23 model year is my point.
Here.
Everglades. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Everglades. Their capacity is 1% this year. Their orders are less than that. So if you're wanting Everglades, there's a possibility for that. They don't have the capacity or what their capacity is on the Heritage Edition yet. They said 4% of the orders are Heritage Edition though. So
okay.
All right. So Jim, want me to answer this one?
Jim W.
For what it's worth, if you haven't heard, GSB deals with the brake grab. Actually, did hear about that. I think Johnny talked about that in his live stream last night. So there you go. So the brake grab during light braking below 6.2 miles per hour. So basically, the goal is once you get to 6.2, brake fast.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. And then going on, some of the other things to note, the hardtop, two-door hardtop, they're over capacity already, as well as the total hardtop number. That would be two-door and four-door. They're over capacity. So 85% of their current orders have the hardtop, which isn't surprising because we know these are people that are waiting and want theirs ordered this certain way. I saw on All Train Nation talked about hardtops and getting aftermarket hardtops. And, if you want a hardtop, you might as well wait if you're really wanting to make sure you have it. Engine-wise, though, what's under capacity is the 2.7 liter. Yep. So whereas last year that was over capacity, this year it's under capacity. So should be good to go there. Sasquatch package, they're already over capacity on that. And Lux package, they are over capacity on that. But the tow package, they are not. So if you want the tow package, whereas last year they told you to take it off, their capacity is 55% and their orders are 31%. So feel free to go ahead and put the tow package on there. All right. Talking about hybrids again, going back to that, on the Explorer, capacity for the Explorer for hybrid is 2%. Aren't you glad you have a Maverick hybrid now? I know it's over, but even it's over on all these, I didn't mention the capacity on that, but on the Explorer, 6% of the orders are hybrid and only 2% can be built. The Escape was the same way. It was over capacity as well. Yeah. So it doesn't matter which one. Everybody wants their hybrids. Let's see. The other one I want to talk about is the Maverick. We already know about overcapacity on the Explorer, on the Explorer, on the hybrid. And then we'll talk about these other numbers. Really, I don't know. We can just pass on this because we'll get into these numbers here when we get into talking at the topic. We'll talk about this stuff. Yeah. We'll talk about that all over. There is still 666 orders in Priority 99. So those that have if you have a canceled order, you might double check that your dealership has put that down out of Priority 99. I will tell you this: the inventory specialists have been sending out emails saying, "Here's the orders you still have in Priority 99. They need to get moved out of there." So they are pushing the dealerships to make sure that was done. Don't have to worry about it with us. All of ours are. We don't have any in Priority 99.
Is this is U.S. capacities, right?
Yes, it is U.S. capacity.
So yes, this information is relevant to California.
Now, talk about F-150 because we've been talking about spraying bed liners. We'll talk about it later. F-150 is not in the same situation that the Maverick is in a way of spray and bed liner availability. Capacity is 11% on the F-150 and 38% of the orders have the spray and bed liner. So if you are have an F-150, take off your spray and bed liner. That goes for Lightning as well, by the way. That's it. I think that's the only ones I want to talk about. I can always talk about some of the others if you want. Nothing different, but those were some things that just popped out for me, especially those that are wanting to put in a Bronco order, and also those that are upset that the hybrid number of production is so low on the Maverick. It's even lower on other models. I want to kind of point that out. But anyway, so just some things that I noticed when looking at those. So next timestamp. Dealer news updates. Talk about it. There's a few here that I want to talk about. One of them is on the Ford Pass rewards, that some of the points are going to be expiring. So,
Robert Bottenfield, we will be talking about that in a little bit.
They announced here that starting December 26, 2022, any members who have not earned or redeemed points in the past 2 years or more will have their points expire. So they were talking about that. So you want to make sure that on your Ford rewards or reward points, use those for service and such. Because if you're using them and you're earning them, then they won't expire. So keep that in mind. Those points. It does say that the Ford Pass in-app messaging will be deployed the week of 12/19 for all members that will have points expiring on or before January 30th, 2023. So it says members whose balances expire 12/31 will be told that their points will expire as early as 12/26 in an in-app message. Members whose balances expire 1 to 1/30 will be told that their points will expire on the actual expiration date in the Ford Pass app message. So you want to make sure you're using those points. I actually use my credit card because I like to get a lot of points and then I use it towards service. So, all right. Next thing, I got a memo today from Ford about the EV federal tax incentives. There's an update from the IRS. They are extending part of this. So it says the federal government has announced that certain criteria for the federal consumer tax credit for electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid EVs will be delayed until March 2023. Select Ford and Lincoln EVs and plug-ins are eligible for this credit, which can run up to $7,500 for qualifying vehicles. Now, this says starting January 1st, 2 additional criteria will take effect and may affect a customer's eligibility for this credit. The first one is that the vehicles must be under a specific MSRP cap. So that's $55,000 for cars and $80,000 for other market classes. That would be including the F-150. So actually, I'll get into that. So select Lincoln Aviator and Ford F-150 Lightning models will not qualify due to starting MSRPs over $80,000. So I know if you have a Lariat, 2023 Lariat F-150, it's over that already. Mine is over by less than $100.
Yeah.
Good to put those all-terrain tires on there. So that was the kicker. It says, while Ford expects the Mustang Mach-E may be categorized as a sport utility vehicle and not a car for purposes of this tax credit, the federal government has not confirmed this categorization. So if you have a Mach-E, we don't know if they're going to classify it as a car or an SUV. So if they classify as a car, $55,000, you're probably over on that one too. The second one is that individuals' adjusted gross income limit. So it's $150,000 for individuals, $225,000 for heads of household, and $300,000 for joint filers. So anyway, so again, get a lot. This stuff is so confusing. So it almost takes a lawyer to read through that sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just want to let you know that came out as well. Now let's get into some other electric news and updates. Don't forget, dealers that want to participate in the Mach-E FCTP mannequin program for 23 model year. That deadline is coming up. You want to make sure you get that in. The configurations they're willing to do is GT and GT Performance Edition. And it does say the select California Route 1 and premium models are not eligible. So anyway, and then the criteria there, you have to keep it at least 2 months, no mileage requirement. So you have to have the vehicle has to be in service, being used as a service loaner and such, for 2 months, over 2 months. So it has to be there for 2 months, no mileage restraints there. So I will tell you this, service departments out there, don't send people out that don't know what they're doing with an EV. It can be a little scary. We had some people that drove there and they were a little nervous. They wanted to go actually make a trip out of town in it, and they weren't sure where they needed to charge. So make sure you know you're notifying them of that they know what's going on, that it's an electric vehicle.
I think we even had someone in town that didn't know where to charge.
Yeah. Then also coming out, there is going to be a lightning notice for everybody that has a current reservation holder. So there's going to be an email going out that's letting everybody know when they could expect their in-order invite to come to them. So that's coming out. So basically their timeline is this winter, early summer, and summer. So I've learned when it says this winter, so remember winter runs through February. Early summer, so summer again, it starts when it says early summer, we're talking June. So that's summer. So just so you know that, June, was it June 21st or 23rd? Yeah. That's the first day of summer. So keep that in mind. So when they say early summer, they're talking June, July. Yeah. And then summer, they're talking July, August, maybe even September. So keep that in mind. Actually, it has to be done before August because you have till the end of August 31st to switch that over. It'll be canceled. So anyway, so there you go. It's giving you those windows, so that should be coming out so everybody knows when they could expect. So that way they can have expectations that, hey, it's coming out soon. It's going to be this winter, or if it's going to be summer, you're one of the last ones. Yep. So anyway, and then I mentioned this on Thursday night's Facebook Live, but the price increase on the Lightning again. So the new price level 330 that was effective December 14th, that went out it was changed the day before wave invites went out again. So the Pro went up another $4,000, as well as the XLT 311A. So now, of course, you can't get a Pro. It's sold out. So the increase was really for fleet dealers or for fleet companies than it was for retail because they're sold out. So that really doesn't matter. XLT, though, the 311A went from $59,474 to $63,474. So that's 10 grand more than it was at the launch of the Lightning. So that gives you kind of where you're at. We had a lot of people that said once they went in there to do their order, they realized it went up 10 grand on them for an XLT. They canceled. You know, it says that just put me out. I'm too far out. So, and that's understandable. But I will tell you the bargain is the 312A did not go up. It did not increase. So whereas the 311A went up $4,000, the 312A stayed the same. So if you were looking at getting that's a good value package. So you're talking about the 312A giving you a lot of the features, the adaptive cruise control and a bunch of other features there that's included in that package for only $5 grand now, because it's still $68,400. So. All right, keeping with the electrified information, or actually this is on the F-150. This is okay. A couple other price increases. This is on the gas F-150. There was a price increase that went into effect December 14th, the same day as the Lightning. Again, this is price level 330. The only thing I noticed on there was I think the destination and delivery charge went up $100. That was the only difference there. But today I looked up, as of yesterday, there was a new price level for the Bronco Sport, and I went through and checked all the prices, and it looks like the Big Ben is going to be going up $300. And the convenience package for the Big Ben is going to go up $500. So if you're thinking about putting in a Bronco Sport order, you might get that order in pretty quickly, because those, especially if you're looking at a Big Ben, because those prices are probably going to be, we're probably going to get a price increase memo here in the next day or two for that as well. So, and this is for later. We'll talk about this later. So, all right. Any questions? Everybody's listening.
Well, they're talking about we have a couple of members who are Marines. Vicky Dell is a Marine. She was in the Vietnam War. Marine vet. Vols 44. They were all Marines. Or not Marines, but they served.
Sir.
Armed
Forces.
Yep, they've been talking through that. And then the other questions are ones that we're going to cover during the topic. I
just saw Vicky asked about our order. I did look, and I have emailed again to the two people that I can. The sales and inventory specialist. I actually emailed her boss, so I have an email in, and her boss actually told them to say, hey, let's put this up the flagpole in a sense.
Yeah.
So I asked them for an update because that was about a week ago.
Yeah.
Still no update yet. So I says it's really embarrassing. We talk about it on our live stream. We bring our order up every week, and it's really looking embarrassing because we have 23s now coming in, and her 22 is still sitting there.
That's been built since July.
So anyway.
Yep.
All right. Is it true? Timestamp. 7:36. All right. For Is It True this week, I wanted to bring something up because we've had more and more different people ask this. I noticed on Facebook and different things. They actually, a couple different things. First of all, they said, did Ford open up the order banks on the Maverick? So some people have the misconception that because you can switch the motor, that order banks have opened up and that you can order a Maverick again. And that's not the case. That is not the case. Another person also said that their dealership told them if they needed to switch their motor, they had to go on Ford's website and reorder, and you can't even order online. So it's just, I don't know. I think dealers are getting frustrated, and I get that, but you can't take that frustration out on your customers. But so anyway, we are going to talk about this. So there was a memo that was released last Wednesday that went over the available capacity opportunities for the Maverick, and just letting people know what's going on with this. So the capacity and such, which we were talking about earlier, and I skipped over because I knew we were going to talk about it here. But so let's talk about this a little bit. So they're basically, Ford put out this memo and wanted dealerships to contact their customers and let them know about a couple different key points. And one of them is to make sure that they've went ahead and ensured the customers who have a 22 order that went unscheduled in place and a replacement order was put in, that they're given higher priority. So any of those rollover orders, they're giving that higher priority. Like we did, we gave our orders at 10, 11, they're 10, 11, 12, 13 priority numbers, and our new orders are 15. So if you have a new order with us, don't ask to move up to 15 until we get those all scheduled out. Then we'll start, maybe moving things up. We'll see how things go.
Yep.
So that's just how that works. So wanting to make sure that the dealerships are prioritizing those carryover orders for their customers so they get a higher priority, which we're going to get into why that could be important here in just a little bit for our topic. And then also is to remind customers that with the 23 order hybrid retail orders of 35% capacity, that they are constrained for the 23 model year. So because there are 73% of the orders in the order bank, in the U.S. order bank, are hybrid orders, their capacity is 35%. So looking at that, about half of the hybrid orders that are currently in the order banks are not going to get built in the 23 model year. That's basically what it's saying. And also on the XL, that they have more XL orders than what their capacity is. So the capacity is 15% on the XL trim. That's XL would be EcoBoost and hybrids, by the way. And then there are 26% of the orders in the retail order bank are XL trim. And so, so some people said, well, hey, Ford just doesn't want to make the cheap one. Well, it's not necessarily that. They always know what their mix is on everything. They've been doing this on F-150 for years. Same way, they build a certain percentage XL, certain percentage XLT, and they do that because they know that's what their mix is. Now, so they want to let us make sure our customers knew that so that they could make any changes that they needed to. So they kind of reminded it. So they also said that changes can be made. They also wanted to let everybody know about the different packages and the capacity for the different packages available as well. So the Copilot 360 package, the available capacity is 60%, and then 50% of the orders are Copilot 360 package. So they're within capacity there. So if you have,
Yeah.
you know, that package on there and you're within the allocations and capacity for the dealership, then you should be good.
Yeah.
The Copilot 360 Assist package. Now, this is a package that requires the Lariat Luxury package.
Yep.
And this is a package that gets the adaptive cruise, lane centering, evasive steering assist, and the parking sensors.
Yes.
So that package there is only 8% of the orders are ordered with that package, but their capacity is 25%. And I mentioned that on Wednesday's video, that I think it's because a lot of people don't know, because last year those features were part of the luxury package. This year they are not.
Yeah.
So we went through our orders and
Yep.
we fixed all that for a lot of customers. We had about 50 customers that did not have that package on there, and more than half of them
Yes.
wanted it and
Yes.
didn't know that we
still
didn't have it on there.
Emails trickling in wanting it.
So
I got one today.
yeah, so we still need to. We got down to like less than 10 that we hadn't wasn't contacting us, but
Yeah.
and then the XLT luxury package, their capacity is 35% of the orders, which is like double what it was last year, because of there's some feature. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. And then the orders in the order bank, 25% of the orders have that package on there, so they're well within the capacity for the XLT luxury package. Lariat luxury package also. 20% of the orders in the order bank are with that package on there. Their capacity is 30%. So they're well within that too. And then the Tremor off-road package, 2% of the orders in the order bank are with the Tremor off-road. 10% is their capacity. So all those packages, they're within their capacity. So they're saying go ahead and leave it on there. Even add it if you want to, because they're within capacity. So now, talking about that, so saying that they're within their capacity means that if everything was the same, if they could build every Lariat or every hybrid, then and you had these packages, they could build every one of the vehicles. But don't forget, the hybrid is going to cause a kind of some difference. But it also means that yes, they could build it within the year, but how quickly do you get scheduled? So remembering that, like on the Copilot 360 package, the capacity is 60%, but that also means that 40% of the orders have to not have that on there too.
Yeah.
So when they go to schedule, you know, yes, you're within, hey, you said you were within capacity with the Copilot 360. Why was mine's passed over for this other order that doesn't have it?
Yeah.
Well, that's because they still need some of those orders as well. So hopefully that makes sense to people, especially as we talking about the discount package that we're going to mention next. So there, Ford said also another package, another thing that they're well within their capacity is the spray-in bed liner, which was a problem last year. You know, they make it sound like they're ramping up production for the spray-in bed liner, but I believe that was the same number as it was last year.
Yeah.
But what happened this year was people realized that was a problem last year, so when they ordered this year, they left it off, right? And so they're well within. So they can do about 39 to 40% with that bed liner as well as the bed rail system.
Yep.
So they're saying they're way under because only 19% of the orders have that on there.
Yeah.
So because of that, they're giving a discount package. If you order the spray and bed liner and the bed rail system, cargo management system / cleat tie down kit C / I mean, there's 4 different names for this package. I don't know why they can't simplify it.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you have, in fact, it's really funny because you should see, they actually made an amendment to this. And they actually added something, and then they actually didn't name it right when they did add it right. So if you add those two and those both are on your order, you're supposed to get them both for $4.95.
Yeah.
So which is the same price as a spray and bed liner. So I'm going to actually read this because I kind of think it's funny. I want to poke fun at Ford just a little bit, just a little bit, just because we can. All right. It says effective immediately, orders can be updated to add the spray and bed liner and cargo management system (parentheses) tie down kit C. Actually, it's the cleat tie down C. And we will be offering a special discount package for the 23 Maverick that combines the spray and bed liner option 96G and the cargo management package (parentheses) tie down kit C in Webdo. Option code is 61D for $4.95 MSRP.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure. So depends on where you're looking at this. So here's the way this package, this bed rail system. So do I have a picture of that? I have a picture.
I think they were confused. They're like, okay, what should we name this? And they've named it differently in every single location.
So in what the memo is that they put out, they called it the cargo management system. Okay, which is these bed rails. It's basically, they're bed rails.
Yeah.
And with the D hook that slides, right? So we can look on their website in a little bit and show you what that looks like. But that bed rail system,
Yeah.
well, it's called the cargo management system in this memo. If you look on Ford's website, it's called the bed rail system, or I think that's what it's called on the window sticker.
Yeah.
And then if you look in Webdo, it's actually called tie down kit. Actually, it's called cleat tie down kit C. There's a B, which is 6 tie downs.
Yep.
And then there are 10, and then there's a C, which is this one here. So there's an A, B, and a C. And so this one here is the C kit. So that's what it says in Webdo. But then when you pull up your order sheet, on there they call it the 6D link connectors.
Yep.
That's whatever. They're all the same thing. They all mean the same thing. So basically it does say in here that if you order both these together, the discount will be automatically applied if both standalone options are selected. So you have to have both of those in there. Option, the spray and bed liner, which is 96G, and the tie down kit C / cargo management system / bed rail system / 6D link connectors. If you order that one, which is option 61D, if you have them both on there, you're going to get the discount package.
60 link bed connectors for $225.
Yes, it's $225 for that option.
Yes.
Make sure you don't select the bed rail crossbars, which is more expensive. That's actually a dealer installed option.
Yes.
That is not the right one.
Nope.
This is under the optional equipment. Again, cleat tie down kit C.
Yeah.
Covered it last week.
I have a few questions.
Real quick before we do that, people asked, I'm not seeing the discount. So they added a memo today. They superseded the last week's memo for this week's. It says the discount price associated with the spray and bed liner and the cargo management system, parentheses tie down kit C, will be reflected in the ordering system no later than December 23rd. This discount package price will be automatically applied to all unscheduled orders that have both standalone options selected. So you have to have an unscheduled order. So if your order is already scheduled, you have both of those on there, you can't get it. You don't get it. So anyway.
And those were actually some of the questions. The other one is, so when does Ford start making non-rollover Mavericks? They have actually started making some of those.
That came in.
Yep, that's what we had come in today.
Oh, non-rollover.
Oh,
orders.
yeah,
non-rollover orders. Well, again,
it depends on what you've ordered.
Yep, they're gonna schedule within capacity, within allocations, based on configuration and priority code. So priority code is looked at first. So if if we have ones that are in as priority code 10, 11, 12, 13, but then our new orders are 15, anybody with a new order, a priority 15, will not be looked at with the same configuration as somebody that has that configuration as a 10, right? They're going to be looked at first. But then once those get scheduled, they'll start pulling those. So we will start seeing some new orders, some of our priority 15s that are going to get scheduled because, again, we talked about this earlier, the capacity on that spray. And let's say you have a spray and bed liner. And let's say if I have an order it's an XLT without the luxury package, without a spray and bed liner, without those bed rails, I'm going to get selected before some carryover orders. Because they need they're going to need orders without those things, without a luxury package, without these other things. So you can do that. Now,
and then someone asked about opening of orders again. They won't be opening until 24.
Yes, 24 model year. So they are closed. Now, something else they mentioned in here, the last paragraph was, as a reminder, even though the 23 order bank is closed, customers will still be able to make changes to their orders prior to the order being scheduled for production. Unlike 22 model year, where the changes to the retail orders were impacted retail order receipt date, it still does. And subsequent prioritization, any changes to your 23 retail order, including powertrains, which means you can make any changes to your order you want. You can change the trim, body code, the powertrain now. You can change any of that stuff right now if you want to. And it says it will not impact the vehicle's scheduling as this is determined by dealer allocation and available commodities. Now, I'm going to say that I asked them, I said, so you're telling me if there are two identical orders, and one is a new order that's a priority 15 and one that's a 10, or no, I actually said if they're the same priority. If I have 2 orders that have the same priority, they're both priority 10s, exact same order, but one of them changed their order to the EcoBoost or whatever, that will not affect another order with that same one because of the receipt date. And he said no. And I don't believe that. There's got to be a tiebreaker.
Yes.
Like somebody said, there's no reason. It doesn't make any sense. If somebody put in an order the very first day for an EcoBoost order, if they put a priority 10 EcoBoost order in, and somebody else comes in and changes their hybrid to an EcoBoost, that they're going to get looked at and going to get scheduled ahead of that one that put theirs in the very first day. It's there's got to be a tiebreaker. So, but what they're saying is that priority has something to do with it, and then your configuration.
Yeah.
And the reason they're telling people that there is no penalty for that is they want people to switch to EcoBoost. They want them to.
Yeah.
So as part of our topic, we can throw these both together.
Okay.
On your timestamps.
Well, real quick, if they have a priority 2, they're good to go, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
All right.
We're getting to that.
So here's in my topic for tonight, I said, how do you know whether you should change your motor? So here's basically how you should kind of decide whether or not you should change your motor. Number one is you should look at what your priority is based on within your dealership. So it matters within your dealership because somebody might say, well, I'm a priority 10 at my dealer, but if they put all their orders in as 10, that's not impactful at all. So it's within what the dealership's doing. So you might ask them, say, how are you prioritizing your orders? I'm a carryover order, that kind of thing. So for our dealership, and for most of the dealerships, if you had one of those canceled orders and it is now priority 2, there's no reason for you to change. If you have a hybrid, you want a hybrid, you're a priority 2, your order is going to get looked at first. There's no way yours is going to get carried over to next year unless you have like a bunch of constraints on yours. So don't have if you have a bed cover on there, if you have a bed extender, you have splash guards, that will cause your order, even as a priority 2, to get overlooked. So don't make your order more difficult than it needs to be. Do what, as I've always said, if it's a factory installed option, put it on there. If it's something that you can do later, take it off.
Yes.
I know Ford should build every vehicle the way you want it to, and I get that. I understand that concept. But it's an algorithm. It's gonna pass your order over more than likely than it will take it. The other thing to think about is if you have a carryover order, right? Like for what we did, we put all of our carryover orders in as a 10, 11, 12, 13 when they ordered. If they ordered in October, people watch the live stream, you know what our system is. So if you had a carryover order and your dealership prioritized your order as a lower number, like a 10 or something, and you have a hybrid, I wouldn't change it at this point, because we know half the hybrid orders are going to get built. Half of them aren't. If you have a carryover order and your dealership prioritizing your order, the chances are really good that you're going to get scheduled before somebody else. Again, within commodity constraints. Again, looking at that. Again, just be smart with that. Now, let's talk about the new orders. What are my chances? I have a new order with your dealership even. They're all priority 15s, right? So what are my chances of getting mine scheduled as a hybrid, or should I be thinking about going to EcoBoost? I say if you ordered in the first couple days and you look on your order sheet and you see that your date is on that Friday, Saturday, which was like the 16th and the 17th, I think you're pretty good shot that your hybrid's gonna get built as a hybrid, because you're probably first half of the orders were taken in the first couple of days. So I think if you ordered within that first weekend and you didn't, your order isn't Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of that next week, basically if it's the 16th or 17th, I say pretty good shot. I would leave it. That would be my take on it. Now, if you have a later order and you really want a Maverick, right, then you probably should think about switching to EcoBoost.
Yeah.
And people are saying, well, won't that move me to the back of the line? Well, there's not really a line. Let's be honest here. A lot of people want to know, where am I in line? My dealership says I'm at 57. I'm like, well, there's not really a number 57 for you, because 58, 59, and 60 could totally pass you up if they don't have a spray and bed liner in their order and they don't have a luxury package, right? So there's no line. I mean, it could easily be passed over or cut the line. based on how you have yours
Yeah.
in there. I did the same thing with Bronco.
Yep.
When my order, I was the very last order at our dealership put in, but I ordered Big Ben,
Yeah.
a 4-door, cloth top, 2.3 liter, and I passed 75 orders right by because of how I ordered it.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. So, so if you do switch from hybrid to EcoBoost, technically you would move, your order date would be moved to the bottom. But if your dealership has a certain amount of allocations, and most of those are hybrids, they're going to get scheduled some EcoBoosts. And so then that makes your order viable to be ordered. So again, at this point, they're going to be able to make every EcoBoost that's in the order banks within dealer allocations, of course. So more than likely, yours is going to be looked at and get scheduled. Especially, let's say your dealership gets down there and they have no more EcoBoost orders, right? And that one would be the last one, but they have a bunch of hybrids and the region is looking for an EcoBoost order. Then yours could be at the very back of the line in the way of the order date. You're going to get looked at before them because it needs an EcoBoost order. So that's how that would work. So I know it's complex, it's hard to understand, but there's a lot that goes into that capacity, the commodity, and dealer allocations.
Yes.
There's a lot that goes into that, but that's kind of my take on it. Is I've been telling a lot of our customers, hey, you had a carryover order, don't touch it.
Yep.
You should get your hybrid. If you have a early 23 order, if you ordered on that Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, I think the same thing. You should maybe not do it.
Yeah.
But then if you were later, then maybe you should think about going to EcoBoost, or it's going to probably get carried over to 24.
Yeah.
I don't think any dealership in the country actually has enough allocations to fulfill all the orders.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a dealership yet that says we have less orders than we have allocations for. But so I don't understand it. So Ford's got to be they got to be holding out a bunch of allocations for them to just use wherever they want, because I haven't seen a dealership yet that has said that they're within capacity on their allocations.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how it goes. But
Yep.
and we'll see how production goes. We never know. I mean, they may be able to ramp up production, and that might change everything. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's my take on it. Hopefully it was
Yeah.
helped you guys out there figuring that out. That's my whole goal here, is to help out customers and help out people that are out there with orders in, how to make good decisions to get theirs ordered quickly. That's kind of what I use in some of my videos, is the why order from McArthur versus your local dealership when you're going to be the same price as my local dealership is. Hey, hopefully
Yeah.
we can help you out, and we're educated enough to know how to make sure that your order gets selected as quick as possible to get scheduled, and that's our goal.
Yeah.
Again, within
Reason.
allocations.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay. If you have your order with us, because I did have Roderick say that he would like some more communication from us, and he has his order with us here at McArthur. If you have your order with us and you feel like we aren't contacting you enough or having enough communication, just give us a call, and we can make sure we have that communication.
Yep. Just let your salesperson know. We'll make sure. We do have it in our system to call every couple of weeks. Some customers say that's too often. I know it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Just call me when I get scheduled.
Yep.
Some people, they want an update every 2 weeks.
Yep.
And so you do get the emails from Ford. So every 45 days, you will get that email from Ford. If you don't get scheduled, you'll get
Yeah.
that canned email that's
And
everybody
I can tell-
hates.
I have
but
it.
It lets you know
Yeah, 'cause
that it hasn't been scheduled and your dealership hasn't dropped
ours
the ball.
hasn't been scheduled yet, and
You got yours?
I got my email. So
yeah, but I CC on a lot of the ones that I put in. I CC'd myself, so I'm getting a lot of
Yeah.
emails as well. So yeah.
okay, Gene Hanks had asked, can he contact someone to see if his Maverick was COVP approved? His 22 Maverick order was ever approved.
His dealership. The dealer's
dealer.
the only
Okay.
one that could give you that information.
Okay.
There's nobody else that can tell you that.
Yep. All right. Has anyone? What are the regional allocations for Long McArthur, and any news on allocations for next month? We usually don't.
All we know is within our
Yeah.
dealership what allocations they are.
Yep.
So they're not scheduled this week. So that's 3 weeks in a row that we haven't had any Maverick schedule.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And for people too that they wanted more communication, they really haven't done a lot of scheduling yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 65 allocations put in the system at launch of the 23 model year, and we still have 25 of those that haven't been assigned. We've only, we've had only 2/3 of our allocations being used so far. They have not scheduled a lot of orders yet.
Yeah.
So just be patient, especially those that put in a new order. I know it's already been 4 months now.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a little while still. They really are just now starting production and ramping it up.
Yep.
So it's going to take a little while before we get some orders scheduled, especially new orders. So if you didn't have a carryover order, you've got to be patient. It's probably going to be a month or two before we see yours. Unless, again, like I said, it's a basic order. You have an XL, Copilot 360, nothing else, or you have an XLT without the luxury package, without the bed liner. That can sneak through.
Yep. Robert Bottenfield, I believe that you are a priority 15.
Yep. You're a new order for us.
Yep. And then don't worry, you do not have to change your hybrid order.
If you don't want to.
If you don't want to, leave it at hybrid.
Yeah, we talked about that. And I mean, some people have asked us, can you give me a priority 10? And I'm going to be honest, no.
Yeah.
At this point, we want to take care of our customers that have been waiting. So, we've had a lot of people. We had someone that had an order come in recently, and they were like, well, wouldn't you go ahead and, get my vehicle and take care of my vehicle since I've been waiting a year? I says, well, we had the Lightnings that came in, whether you realize it or not, but the F-150 Lightning people, they reserved their Lightnings before the Maverick came out.
Yes.
Or within the same month. So Maverick was released at the beginning of June that year in 21. And then the release and where you could reserve an F-150 Lightning was like at the end of that month.
Yes.
So it was within a month.
Yeah.
And so these people have been waiting just as long as Maverick people have. And let's not talk about Bronco.
Well, but a lot of the people waiting for their Mavericks right now ordered in October, November, December, January. Those are the rollovers that are waiting.
Yeah.
Lightning people are still in June. We don't have any June orders waiting. These people reserved in June.
We have people at first reservation date that are still waiting to get their schedule.
Yes, they're still waiting to get an invite, right?
Yeah, a lot of them have now gotten invites.
Yeah.
Most of the recent invites, the ones that just went out, were ones from day 1 and day 2.
Okay, so we're hitting day 2.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Someone did say, are they going to, where was it? Are we seeing fewer Lightnings getting scheduled? I know that
fewer.
I know we're getting more invites.
Yeah, we're getting more invites, and they're getting scheduled. I mean, we had the last wave before this one. Those Lariats, we saw them getting scheduled within a day or two from when the order was put in. But that's because they were trying to fill in holes.
Yes,
and that's why they scheduled quick. Right. And then whereas this one's not, because they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it. So
drop-in bed liners, are they still constrained?
No, they haven't been on the list.
Yeah. But that is one that I would do at the dealer if you're wanting it.
Again, if it can be done later, do it later, right?
One question came to mind. I heard for last year they removed the temp display from the temperature knob. Has this been added back since the chip shortage removed it?
I don't know. I know in the Bronco they did bring it back for 23.
Yes.
We got our first 23 Broncos, and they do have the number instead of just the temperature display or icon, I should say.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the Maverick. I didn't look. Well, the one we have isn't luxury package. But the Lariat, there's a Lariat out there.
I didn't get the temp display.
We'll look at the Lariat.
Like on the knob?
Yeah.
I don't have temp display on the knob. Wait, yes, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I'm a little bit blonde sometimes. My brain does not always function properly.
The hard bed liner, 25% their capacity and 5% of the orders with the hard bed liner.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that drop-in liner, hard bed liner, drop-in liner. I still think, it's still my opinion. I do the same thing. People ask, should I go ahead and add that to it? Again, 40% is a good number. But I like 60% better. If I'm playing the odds, give me 60%. Last I knew in math, 60% is higher than 40%. So I still, I'm not going to, I'll do whatever somebody wants to their order. But my opinion still is to leave it off.
Yeah.
But
will Ford close for the holidays? Yes.
Yep.
Have we heard anything about Ford extending the Farm Bureau discount for 23?
extending it. Well, every month or every quarter they reset their incentives. So
Yeah.
everything looks like it expires January
Yeah.
3rd because that's the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
So when they redo their incentives at around January 1st, a lot of those incentives will move to where their expiration date is going to be in April, the beginning
Yeah.
of April. So just keep that in mind. So we'll just have to see what those. And Farm Bureau is one that always continues to, it won't expire. So
Ghosting wants to know if he should add luxury package and drop the hitch. That would be one way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that, I mean, the way the hitch is constrained is that if you have the optional hitch, I would almost recommend going to the luxury package because it is within capacity, and yes, it is less likely. But you right now with it on there as a standalone option, you're probably less likely to get it scheduled because of the hitch. But if you have the luxury package, then that could help it get scheduled probably.
Yep. Alan asked, so I had ordered 1121, did the reorder 916. So what I'm hearing, leave it alone, right? Also, can I ask my dealer what allocations they have for the Maverick?
You can ask.
You can ask, but they don't have to tell you.
No. And most of your salespeople won't know. It's your managers, if anybody, will know.
Yeah. And I did ask that question today in an email. They said that their dealer is refusing to tell them their allocation number and if they could find it anywhere else.
Nope.
No. Ford does not make dealers disclose that with anyone, and they aren't putting a list out for that.
And we're probably the only one in the country that actually does it.
Yeah.
So don't tell anybody. I'm just trying to keep you guys informed on what's going on, but that's not something most dealerships will let. Some of them, if you ask, it's one of those things that they give us this information, and that's for us to be able to communicate with our customers on a one-to-one basis. So if somebody goes to their dealership, there's no reason why they can't tell you that, but it's just their option there.
Yeah.
Have we gotten down to Austin's? I had scrolled at one point, and there's
Austin?
Several questions right here. I didn't know if we got into. Where are you at on your questions?
Gene Hanks. I'm pretty sure we.
Right up here.
Yeah. Our Mustang Mach-E stays online.
Our Mustang Mach-E stays online will be delivered this week. It says online that it's delivered this week, 24, but the dealer said February to March. How accurate is the Ford website? Your website, your email, like if you look in your system, that's pretty accurate. So they're probably doing that because they don't want you to get too excited. And so that's probably what they're doing. They're trying to keep your excitement down. But yeah, that's pretty accurate. So in fact, what's funny is we had people that emailed us on Monday and said, according to Ford, you've received my vehicle. And we're like, you get notified before we do sometimes.
Yeah.
And so like we have them dropped off over the weekend or at night, and we don't even we have to wait for them to check them off, because when they come in overnight, then service has to go and inspect all the vehicles before they can give them to the people over here, which then give them to the sales guys. It can take a couple hours on sometimes. Yeah. So sometimes before the dealer knows.
Yeah. I think I moved my cursor and I might have jumped down a few questions and I missed those.
Let's grab these. Ricky says, hi Tim, do you know why or have you ran into this with your dealership? Ford corporate phone conversation, online chat, and website has info that is not updated since the 14th, a week ago. I'm not sure what kind of information you're talking about though.
Yeah.
And maybe that has to do with your order. Oh, here. Ford has that my Lightning is awaiting shipment. My dealer said my truck is in the rail yard in Atlanta. A lot of times that's the same thing. It's in the rail yard. Oh, it's in the rail yard in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Ford.
But still in shipment.
Well, but they're saying in Atlanta, not in. They're made in Michigan.
Right.
So when it says awaiting shipment, that means it should still be at the plant. At the rail at the plant, not in Atlanta. So.
Well, I found that sometimes they aren't updating very well.
But that's typically, I mean, that your information is usually the same information, so it'd be really surprising that it would be different. So, and then Fernie says, should I remove my standalone hitch option? And yeah, I recommend, again, depends on what you're wanting. If you want to tow with it, you know, you should probably leave it on, because like we talked about before, we can't add the wiring under warranty, right? So.
All right, I'm at Chris Overton. See, and I may have...
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Any word on if there are any shipment issues at the Dearborn truck plant? I talked to you last week regarding my F-150 that's been waiting shipment since 11/19. Both Ford marketing and dealer, per the VVR sent me, says it's not on any hold and is sitting at AP59 at the plant waiting for carrier and ETA is getting pushed back over and over.
Yes, yeah, we've been seeing that. We had a lot of we had 5 Lightnings just show up.
Yep.
That they were off-site awaiting shipment and such for about a month. So finally they're starting to show up. So now I think they're starting to get them moved out, and so hopefully we see that happening. But yes, there's a little there's a jam out of Michigan. So definitely that is an issue there.
I bought someone's canceled order. It's a 22 Maverick EcoBoost XLT and it's awesome. I ordered a 23 hybrid the first day and it is still in the system. Not sure if it will be built. From William McCann.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see.
And I will tell this to people. I haven't seen last year we got some stock orders in at the beginning. That's not happening this year. I don't see any stock orders coming in. And another thing, keep in mind, most of the people on these first ordered ones that come in, most of the people are taking them.
Yep.
Because it hasn't been that long yet. There are some people where, okay, when it gets scheduled and it takes like 3 months for it to get here, things happen and people buy vehicles or things change in their life and they can't take that ordered vehicle. But this is early on in the model year.
Yep.
So it's probably going to be a while before we start seeing some of these vehicles be available for sale. At least on our end. So we're trying to be proactive into keeping a hold of our customers because we recommend too, if you have an order with us, please let us know so we can cancel the order because we want every vehicle to come in, be sold units to people that wanted to order their vehicles.
Yep.
So if we have somebody that doesn't want their vehicle, we want to know before it gets scheduled so that we can cancel it and so somebody else can be selected. So so hopefully we see more of that this year than last year because we actually don't like seeing the ones come in and customers don't take it. In fact, every time, Sarah will tell you, every time that I see in the group chat that there's one available, I'm like, what? Whose order was that? I try to look it up and go, why did they take their order? And so we don't like seeing that because we know there's a bunch of other people that have theirs that's waiting to get scheduled
beforehand and gone, okay, well, this order can be canceled. Let's get the next person going.
Yep.
All right. Got my Lightning invite to order second day reservation holder. Ordered base XLT. I'm so excited to get an order in from Tim McDonald.
All right. Congrats. Yes.
Yep. Have we received any Maverick Tremors yet?
Not yet. But we have 2 in Kansas City.
Yes, that's right. They
should
are
be any
almost
day now.
here.
Yep. I think it's actually showing that they're supposed to be here next week, but we'll see.
Well, they might start slowing down transporting for a little bit.
Yep.
Let's see at Ridgeview, McArthur here.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of McArthur stuff. They're doing Sarah Davis.
Yeah, and that's where I'm having troubles at McArthur. Do Lariat Maverick hybrids stand the best chance to get built?
Lariat Maverick hybrids stand the best. No, XLT does.
Yes.
Because basically the breakdown, I believe, is like 50% XLT orders, 35% hybrid, or no, 25% Lariats. Then 15% XLs, and then Tremors are the rest of that difference, like 10% Tremors or something like that.
So from James Finch, so us rollover people have our private offers expiring 1/3. How likely is that going to be renewed?
Very likely.
Yeah, they'll just keep renewing it.
Yes, they will, because their incentives always expire at the end of every quarter.
Yes.
So they don't like to go too far out. And so that come January 3rd, you're going to see that date change to April, whatever. So
a Del Real says originally ordered XLT with no accessories, recently added black appearance package. Did that throw me in the back of the line?
Okay, what was that? I was trying to find it.
You're good. Originally ordered XLT with no accessories, recently added black appearance package. Did that throw me in the back of the line?
No. Changed in adding, though there's only 3 things that will change the actual receipt date of your order. We'll just go off this.
Okay.
One of them is the your body code going from front wheel drive to all wheel drive or to the Tremor all wheel drive system. The other is your trim, and the other is your motor. Changing the package or adding packages does not. So keep that in mind. So, and I'm not sure where you were because
a Del Real. There.
Ah, because it said Cerritos. Okay.
Yep.
We'll have to look for both. All right. So right there.
Is there a timeline on when you can change my hybrid order to EcoBoost?
No, I don't know if they haven't told us that there's an expiration on that. They'll probably keep it open for a while because they know that some people right now are going to say, I'm going to hold out for a little bit. So they probably know that they need to keep it open for a while.
Yeah.
But I think as long as they're within capacity on EcoBoost, they'll allow it.
Yeah. Okay. Michael K. Stove 16, my stock Mav XL hybrid order was confirmed September 18th with the priority code 12. Dealer says stick with the hybrid instead of switching to EcoBoost. What do you think?
Yeah, we just talked about that in the topic. Yeah, that if you have one of those carryover orders that's a higher priority, you should just hold on to it.
Yep.
But I'm not sure. You said stock Maverick. That's not true because a priority 12 cannot be a stock Maverick.
Yeah.
So.
Is Ford closing for the holidays?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know when. They haven't said when they're going to be closing, but because they're not scheduling this week, a lot of them aren't. I would probably say Thursday, Friday, they're going to probably close. And then usually the entire, like next week, I would be surprised if any plant schedule next week. And then usually the headquarters, which are the people that do the scheduling and such, they usually will close for like a week, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Any news? Marine Vet says, any news on how many 22 Broncos are carried over to 23?
No, they actually took that number off of the commodity list. They used to have it on there, and they took it off. Well, I think the week before they started, they said they're going to be canceling those orders in Party 99. They took that off of the commodity report. It's not on there anymore.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I know that we have about 30 that need to be scheduled from our original 22. Because that's all the orders. Basically, if there's a 23 order Bronco order in the order banks right now, they're carryover orders.
Yeah.
And we have 30 left to get scheduled. So of those, I think I looked at last. So.
All right. Bulls 44 says, have you had any more stop sales for the side airbag, or are there enough parts on hand to resolve that issue?
No, and that would have only been vehicles that were really built in that back in July.
Yeah.
Because it was when they figured out that was an issue. Some of those were shipped ahead already. And so once they figured that out, they stopped it. They fixed the problem. So once there was an available fix, that's what they fixed it at the factory first. So then basically a lot of them were being shipped correctly. So we only had two that had to have that done. One of them technically isn't delivered yet.
That's right.
So.
All right, right here. I'm very excited for my Chris Overton says, I'm very excited for my Maverick delivery. As of this evening, it is in my home state of Texas and passed by El Paso on the rails and getting closer to the DFW area. It's been 11 months.
Oh, cool.
All right.
And just say, for those that follow Johnny's Car Care and Reviews,
yes,
he's
like the
Marie's Wyatt or Maverick, got scheduled. So,
woohoo!
Yeah, so
that's exciting news.
About that in there,
yeah. He's like the Canada FordVideoGuy. He has the Canada
Johnny's
news.
Car Care and Reviews. Let's not give him a title. Don't want to do that to him. He may not want to be FordVideoGuy.
You're right, because doesn't he do reviews on other?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but he does a lot of the Canadian news.
Yes, but if you're in Canada, you can follow him because he will keep you updated on how that's different.
Yeah, Branson MG says, I got my first Ford email on 10/31. Should I have gotten my second email by now?
Maybe.
It
might have just gotten passed over, to be honest. Sometimes.
Right. So I got one for mine and Lebo's, and then Kyle's came later.
Yeah.
So
and I put my when you put an order in, you can put two email addresses in. So
yes.
one of them is a secondary email, an alternate email address.
Yeah.
So on every order I put in, and I put in about 70 orders, I put my email address in, and I did not
I
get.
put your email address in on the ones I entered.
And I did not get 70 emails. I can tell you that right now. No. I did not get that many.
Yeah.
So yeah, it didn't go out. The second one did not go out to everybody.
From John Sponseller, how do I look up info on the real location of my daughter's Maverick? There's not really a good way to do it.
If you have the rail number, there are some places on the Maverick Truck Club that can tell you what to do. I don't know that top of my
We haven't gone through that process.
Yeah.
And so we haven't tried going through that process, but Maverick Truck Club would be a good resource for you to go to. From Tim Howard, 22 rollover with the VIN. I'm scheduled for January 9th. Can I add back the spray and bed liner?
Maybe. You can try. It may be it may be too close at this point. Usually if you're 2 weeks, about 2 to 3 weeks from your production date or week, you usually can't make a change.
I did have a question earlier about that. He said, or they asked, they said that they were contemplating adding hitch, I think, but they were already scheduled. And if you're too close to your build date, you can't add things.
Yep.
It locks it.
Yep.
Thanks from PDEGNAN 4852. Thanks for all you do with that for us with putting all this info out. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Well, thank you.
Craig T502. Hypothetical question. Is it possible for a small dealer to take a small number of orders, say 2, but only get 1 allocation for the year?
Yes, it is. Michael said, can I order 24 Ford Edge ST now? No. No. 24 order banks are not open up for any models.
Yep.
So.
From Jeff Mann, everything is shut down next week. Happy New Year. Where was that?
I don't know. It's called.
It jumped.
It jumped.
Sorry, guys. It jumped. My computer died. I forgot my cord at home. There we go. Dallin Graham. I have an XL EcoBoost order. I saw the 15% XL capacity. Should I be worried about it getting built? Unless I change to XLT.
Possibly. But then there's your issue there. If you want to stay hybrid and you go XLT, you kind of move to the back of line of the XLT hybrids. You know?
Oh.
I mean, that's something to keep in mind too.
Whoops.
And then,
in McArthur, Ford finally acknowledged the brake issue for hybrids at very low speeds. Yep.
Yes. So.
Sarah Davis from J&C Henderson. Will changing motor or adding bedliner cleats change incentives?
No.
Michael says he changed his XLT hybrid to an XLT Tremor today. He now has a priority code of 10.
So your dealer did, what they did is when they changed it, they actually gave you priority. Now, if your dealer's willing to do that, then that actually is another thing, is if your dealer says, hey, because you're willing to go to EcoBoost, we'll give you higher priority, then that's, kudos to them. So
Daryl Fetch asked, what is your Maverick orders % hybrid to Eco?
Ours,
that's hard to say.
I think it's, let's say 5 to 7. What's that percent? I don't know. We have like 500 hybrid orders.
Yeah.
Out of 700 something. So I think
our see anything.
I think our percent was about the same. When I looked it up on the hybrids, it was about the same. But on our XL orders, we have 60% of our orders are XL versus the 15% national capacity. So within our XL orders, we're actually pretty square.
Yeah.
But for our hybrid, I think we're pretty close to the national average.
Yeah. Michael Orth asked, after all 22 carryovers are scheduled, will you redo priority from 15 to 10, 11, 12, etc. based on order date? So I think he's thinking if we, once our carryovers are done, so then we'll reorder them. Like if they ordered that first day, they'll be a 10. The second day.
Possibly, yeah.
That would take a lot of work because we'd have to go in and see which each and every one and when they were ordered.
Yeah, I mean, I can pull a report that has that, but and that puts it in that order. But that's a possibility. But keep in mind, I mean, the priority only is relevant within the dealership. So
Yeah.
if within our dealership, if all of our orders are the same number, then nobody has an advantage over somebody else.
Yeah.
So it would be whether or not we wanted to give some other orders a certain advantage to move them up, the priority up. So we probably won't mess with them because at some point it'll be to where all we have left are 15s, and so
Yeah.
So we, moving them up, if we would move those orders up, we might do that. Maybe not at the beginning, but we might notice that, hey, there's a bunch of first day orders. Let's go ahead and make those a 10, and we could do that. But we haven't discussed that yet.
Yeah.
Made that decision.
All right. Ken Rambish. Hi, Tim. Thanks for all the great info. Question, is there still an issue with the 4K package on the Maverick slowing down my order?
No, never was.
Okay. Detroit
Especially
Archery.
because you got an eco. For
Yeah.
one, you got an eco,
yeah.
and for second, you got the 4K tow package. They're gonna give a priority to the hitch to any package. It's gonna be the 4K tow package.
Yes. Yeah, because that one
Has to have it.
Has to have it. From Detroit Archery, Ford, I have a Lightning estimated delivery of 12/19 to 12/25 in Michigan, still waiting shipping. Chances are will it ship before Christmas.
I don't know.
That's hard to say.
It is, and it looks like that window. I will say that on the Lightnings, once they get on, like mine was this way, and even the ones that are here.
Yeah.
Last I saw, they were like on the rail, like waiting to get on the rail, and then all of a sudden they were here. And so once they get to Kansas City, they they hot track the Lightnings for some reason.
Yeah.
So got a donation, All Train Nation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. For high, for low, has the Ford factory filled all of the 21 orders, and how many 22 orders are left to fill?
I don't know. What are we talking about? Bronco, Lightning? What are we talking about?
Yeah, that one's hard.
Has Ford factory filled all the 21 orders, and how many 22?
That sounds like Bronco.
Yeah, it must be Bronco. Basically, what happened on any of the 21 Bronco orders, when those got converted to 22, we knew those were 21s, but then when you could actually order 22s, they all kind of got mixed up. The only way you could tell that it was a carryover order was by what the date was on the order, because we know when they carried them over. And so then at that point, all the orders are in the order bank right now. We don't know whether or not they were original order or a newer 22 order. There's no way for us to tell.
Yeah.
They're all the same date.
Yep.
So there's no way to tell. At this point, they're all 23 orders
Yep.
at this point.
MTK3D. Lonnie got my Maverick XLT hybrid order in on that Saturday, September 17th, but weeks later I changed it to XL. If I change it back to an XLT, is there a better chance I will get it?
Again, kind of like we just said a little bit ago, by switching it. Now, when you switch the X to the XL, that's the date you would have had a new date then. Mm-hmm. So, now see, this would be a situation where, knowing that he originally had a September 17th order, and then he changed it to an XL like a month later or a couple of days later, whatever, that would reset his date. That might be one where we may say, hey, let's give it a priority, because we know that, once and the other orders. So trying to make note of that and trying to keep that straight is difficult, but that might be a situation where we'd like to give that person a priority. Now, moving to an XLT, better chance of getting built. I don't know. Again, it'd be a good order. I'd love to know your order number so I can kind of do some, have some
looking.
Be able to do some looking to see if, okay, this is an order that Ford's saying that it doesn't matter. Well, your order would be a great evidence of whether or not it does matter.
Yeah.
So
email Ford or Law McArthur right over there.
Yep.
And he can take with your information. He can give it a look.
I'd love to know your order number and keep that straight, and try to also, if we need to, see what we can do.
Yeah. Alan asked, just wondering if you got my Christmas card. Is that the one that we had that we were going to show last week and we forgot? He had a Christmas card and he forgot to share it.
Yeah, Alan, I got it right here.
Yeah, it's a really pretty card.
It's pretty cool. Got a Bronco on it and everything. Yeah, I got it. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. So,
yeah.
Yep. We got another card.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a card with the jacket and everything.
Yep.
From March. So we've gotten a couple different Christmas cards here. So And then
Yeah.
other cards. So
that you had up.
Yep.
Yep. All right. From Freaking Crazy 6932. I have reached out to your dealer about placing new Bronco order. Will those still open in the early 2023 or will not open at all? We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know. Last thing we heard was
Maybe.
February.
Yeah.
Last I heard was February, so we'll have to see.
All right. Michael Stove 16 says, I was wondering if you have any idea when I might expect a build date for my priority code 12 XL hybrid with only a full-size spare confirmed September 18th. Sorry for my earlier question. It depends on how your dealer's handling their priority codes.
Yeah.
Because a priority code 12 could be their new orders, while 10 is their rollovers.
Yeah, if your order's with us, I could probably look at your order and give a better guess. But again, it all has to do within your dealership. So it's hard for me to know how many allocations your dealer gets a month and such. If your order was with us, I can probably be pretty accurate, but still.
Yeah. Deli Watt asks, can Ford remove windshield scratch from my glass? I would go to a body shop. If your dealer has a body shop with them, check with them or go to another body shop. They usually handle chips and other things in the glass. I can tell you if it's not a scratch and it's a chip, you want to get that filled as soon as possible, especially with the cold moving in, because it will start to spider.
Yep.
All right. T3.270. I still get the Ford financing rate that was available when I originally ordered my 22 Maverick that went to 23 rollover.
No.
Nope.
You don't.
Nope.
There's no way for them to carry rates over.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they give you a private offer. It's because they can't price protect from year one model year to the next.
Yep.
If ever they can't produce, I mean, you're actually fortunate because here's what used to happen for the Ford Ford dealers is when at the end of a model year they would say our production is over, and this is back before we had a lot of retail orders. And there's a lot of our stock orders that would stay in the order bank that would never get scheduled, and we didn't get anything for those orders.
Yep.
These retail orders as well. This is kind of a new territory for them because that typically didn't happen, where you had rollover orders from retail orders. Really, until we saw the Bronco, we didn't see that happening, and so there's no way for them to be able to carry over last year information in a way of incentives and pricing into the new year. So what they do is give you that private offer to make up for that the best they can.
Yep.
It's not 100%. It still might be close, but they want to try to get that as close as possible. But they will never lock in from one model year to the next the incentives, just within the model year.
All right. Grant Tingstrom. Changed my hybrid XLT, only option sliding rear window and trailer hitch, and Co-Pilot 360 to EcoBoost XLT Lux package, Co-Pilot 360 Black Appearance package, spray and bed liner priority 10. Did I mess up?
Your priority 10, that's a good thing. Now, if your dealership
has everything as a priority 10?
If your dealership has all their orders as priority 10, then it doesn't help you out. It kind of moves you to the back in a sense of the EcoBoost orders, right? Because really, you got to look at it that way as your dealership. If they haven't always been doing that with us. Like last year when it was 60, what was it, 60-30% last year, 65-30% last year as well. We noticed they didn't schedule our orders at a 65-30% rate necessarily, but they do nationally. But so it's difficult to tell. But if they didn't keep all the orders at priority 10, then you're doing good.
Yep.
So
Bartski 31 says, with the Christmas holiday this weekend, will built Mavericks continue to be shipped out, or will the shipping shut down along with the factory?
They'll typically have some days off there.
Yeah.
So there will start being some delays there. I know that when they get to Kansas City, that's what happens.
I hope that some shipping shuts down, because I believe with holidays, people should be with their families. And so I don't mind shipping being shut down so that our shippers can get time with their families.
And they probably won't a lot, so it shouldn't be too much of a delay. But they'll probably have, like Christmas Day off and maybe another day. They run shifts, so they people can have days off. So
Yeah.
it won't be a complete shutdown in a way of the transportation part of it, but
Yeah.
factories and such, they might.
Yep. Z14 Snipers PS4 says, I just got to the stream. You might have covered it already. I have an XL EcoBoost all-wheel drive. Do you think it will be built as a 23 with Ford restricting XL?
I think you got better shot than a hybrid with an XL. So
Yeah.
I know since your hybrids are or your XLs are over capacity, they're more likely to schedule that EcoBoost before they will that hybrid. So
You never mentioned it, but that G on your new jacket looks a lot like the Green Bay Packers G. Are you a Packers fan? I'm now born and raised Wisconsin, but in Cali now.
yes, I'm a Packer fan.
Yep, he is. That is part of a nice jacket.
I am a part owner of the Green Bay Packers. I can
yeah.
proudly say I own one share.
Okay, good to know. I didn't know that. Lonnie Geisler, should I change back to XLT from XL? It's hard to tell.
So I changed back to the big XL. I think. What's that?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different person from earlier.
Yeah.
Again, depending on when you ordered, what your order date's setting at right now, what your receipt date's setting at.
There's so much that goes into it.
I think I gotta be careful on. I know that Ford wants people to. Okay, we have more XL orders than what we can handle. I don't know. It is out of skew just a little bit, but I'm not as a huge fan of changing that XL order as maybe Ford's wanting us to be as dealerships. But I mean, especially if you have an EcoBoost XL, leave it. You have an the XL facts or the stuff that I talked about on the hybrid has to do with the XL as well. So if you have an XL carryover order, leave it. If you have an XL that was ordered in the first couple of days, leave it. You know, if you have a later XL order, maybe you should think about moving that to an XLT.
Yeah. Clarence Rollers says, talk about the TSB on Maverick. So I talked to my dealer for 4 hours ago, and they know nothing about it. Have you received the TSB?
I don't know. Let me see my mouse.
He has to take his mouse.
Those are usually in here, but...
Oh. He is a priority 19. That's what Lonnie said.
Oh, that's not accurate. With us?
Yeah, no. Lonnie.
Oh, with
Geisler.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're priority 19. That's not good.
No.
Ask them. Sometimes you can just ask them because
Yeah.
if you make a change to the trim, it automatically defaults it back to a 19.
Yeah.
And the dealership doesn't even know that. I actually did that on an order. I made a change on the order and then went, wait a minute, I think that said 19. Come here. We need to change that. Let me reprint that sheet.
Yeah.
And I gotta change it back. So if you change the body code, you change the motor, you change the trim, I think it automatically takes the priority code back to 19. It defaults it back. Anything that's done on there's a line on your order. So anything that's done within that line automatically defaults it back to 19. Any of the options and such and the standalone options packages, that doesn't change that priority code as a default. But if you change the body code, you change the motor, or change the trim, any of those three, it automatically, when you make that change, it updates that to a priority 19.
Yeah.
I was going to look and see if there are
I know
any
you were.
alerts. I don't know on the TSB. I mean, typically, they do show up in FMC dealer, and I don't go look in there because I'm not in service. So I don't know if it's out yet. Sometimes it's released and it'll say that dealerships will get notifications later. So usually once Ford Authority has broke the news, it's not really at the dealerships yet. So give them a couple days.
Yeah.
If I find it for next week, I'll talk about it next week.
Tim, can you please, from Tim Foster, can you please go back over capacities on 23 Black Diamond Bronco? Have one in system to go in when order banks open back up. We'll be able to get ordered properly. It's a 4-door hardtop 23.
Okay, so
Oh, so you have a pre-order with your dealer.
he's probably wanting to know what his
Yes.
So Black Diamond, their capacity right now on current orders is 8%, and they had 8% of the orders are Black Diamond. So right now
They're right at
that their capacity already. So putting in a new order, but it's still, well, what's funny is that it actually is red. So over here, it'll tell us our variance on points. And this one here, even though they're the same, they do have a red 0 instead of a black, which means that they probably do have the U.S. order banks they're close within 1%, but they're over the 8% more than likely. So that's something to look at. Now, did he also say hard top? So hard top is over capacity right now. So having both of those could affect your order and getting scheduled, and especially on your pre-order. So when you put that order in, but I mean, still put it in. You don't know. I mean, what'll happen? Again, it's still within your dealership, within their allocations as well. So
From Kimmett05, you had mentioned getting 2 Maverick trimmers. What day were they ordered? My order was placed with McArthur Ford September 19th. Option added was Copilot 360. Wondering when I might get mine scheduled.
Yeah, these two were people that had carryover orders, so they were a little bit higher. They were higher priority. So they were in as a 10. So that's why because they were carryover orders from our January EcoBoost customers, and so when they placed their order, they went ahead and put a trim. They made them trimmers. Because they had a priority 10, they were looked at first. But if you have a September 19th, which was one of the first days on the trimmers you could order, and we have what I think we had. Out of our 42 trimmer orders that we had, and that might have changed now because I think somebody did switch over to trimmer. So probably 43 now. I think we had like 7 that had been scheduled. So they're scheduling a pretty good percentage, but we just need to get the Kansas City region to start getting scheduling. We still got 25 that need to be used.
If I have a priority to January 24 build date, can I add Copilot and will it affect my build date?
You can try. It won't hurt your order. So if they allow you to make the change, you can make the change. They just don't have to accept it. But it won't hurt the order. I mean, you can always try, if you want to. So you just have your dealership go in there and try it. Now, if the dealership goes in there and they click on it and it says this order is not amendable, then you can't make the change. It won't even allow you to. But if it allows you to, then you can make the change, try to submit it, and then it'll actually put a little message over the little I if they look at that, if they scroll over it, that says order is being processed. It takes about a day for them to say whether or not they process it. So the next day, if you go back to the dealership, they can go in there and look. Then if they preview the order, then you'll see that they took that and that it was accepted. So it really just depends. What it can do, though, it can move your order. So that happened with my daughter's order. It was scheduled. We forgot to have the lecture package. We added that on. They took it, which I was surprised they did, but they moved her order date back like 3 weeks. So she was actually supposed to be one of the first ones actually built, and hers moved back 3 weeks because it no longer could they do it when they originally ordered it. So her order got moved back and somebody, lucky person, got moved into her slot. So that could happen to your order. So if you make that change, just beware that more than likely your order date might move back, or your build date might move back. So.
4 high 4 low at McArthur. Sorry, my question was in regards to Bronco orders. Thank you. We got that one.
Yeah, we figured that out.
Duke M, do you know if Ford is currently doing a first-time buyer program? If so, what are the requirements?
It seems like they're always doing a first-time buyer program. A lot of times I like to do college student ones. But if you haven't had they look for people that have never had a car loan. That's what they're usually looking for.
So wait, you're saying I could have looked into that for me?
Maybe.
Because I never had a car loan. Well, I was a co-buyer. Co-signer.
I don't know.
Scott H says, does LM have allocations for 23 Mach-E's? I noticed you have a new 22 on our lot. Haven't we gotten 23 Mach-E's yet?
Yes, we have. And we, allocations are, and Scott actually has an order with us. He's got a Mach-E order. So we do have an allocation that's going to get carried over to next month because they're not scheduling right now because the plant's down. And so, that allocation, that one allocation we have will get carried over to next year.
All right. Branson MG. Oh, wait. Zoom Jr. says, at McArthur and at Sarah, thank you for everything you do and have a Merry Christmas. Branson MG, have you heard about Maverick dash rattles in cold weather? Is this a common problem? Oh, yes, I had an email about that today.
I'm sure there's, again, a lot of times out on like Maverick Truck Club and on Facebook and such, you're always going to see that somebody's going to always put in their complaints about the one thing that happened to theirs, but it doesn't mean it's happening on everybody's.
Yeah.
So
Like my sister's Escape has, it sounds like a water bottle's bouncing around in there, according to him.
her door, you close it and you hear a rattle in there. I'm like, what is that? And I think it's there's a recall or something. But
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yep. Where were we? We answered that one. I think he just re-asked it. Crowman, I have a Maverick XL hybrid on order. Should I change to XLT? My dealer says all their orders are the same priority code, except for a few customers that had 22 orders. Would new date be problem?
Oh,
We're good. Nope. There.
yeah. All right. So I have a Maverick XL hybrid on order. Should I change to XLT? Again, I wouldn't change. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of making drastic changes because it will affect your order date. And I would
Yeah.
same party code except for my for a few customers that have a 22 order. Again, it depends on the dealer. If the dealer doesn't have, if they have less orders than what their yearly allocations are, then it doesn't matter. You'll get scheduled eventually, but I wouldn't make the change. And then we have
Mike Mahaffey.
Mike. Thank you very much.
Don't want to play extra for an XLT. I think you might tell you. Any thoughts on when the last of the canceled VIN 22 orders will be built?
Built there, most of them are scheduled. We have one because Ford is messed up on it, but almost a lot of people, their 22 canceled orders already been scheduled, so they're being built in January. I think most of ours are. We have one that's not, because it was that one that they couldn't carry over because it had the order numbers already scheduled of our 23 orders.
Yep.
And so it couldn't move over, so it's in there as a stock, and so it's not getting scheduled, and they're not. So
Looking at it.
bear with the those inventory and sales, the sales and inventory specialists. They're swamped with emails, so they're not. It's difficult getting things to happen there.
John Ashton.
Thanks for the donation.
Thank you. And he says, I want to wish everybody from McArthur a Merry Christmas from Massachusetts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope you're enjoying your first edition.
Yes.
All right.
Freaking crazy 6932 says, I have 2 orders for Mavericks, one for me and one for my wife at different dealers. XLT hybrid ordered 918 and 919 Lariat hybrid. Odds of these being built. Priority 19 for both.
Those are both kind of late, so depending, again, allocations that dealership has versus orders on each of those. So if they know their number and their orders are less than what their allocations are, then they both could be built. But if not, then the chances are pretty good that they won't.
Yep.
Especially at a party 19.
Yep. Engineer in Despair says, any Bronco updates? Sorry, just opened the live.
Not yet.
Nope.
So, no.
Nope. Vols 44. Any plans to attend the North American Auto Show in Chicago?
Maybe. We'll talk next week.
Yeah. All right. Steve D says, in the news about EV tax credits that was read earlier, did mention if it was addressing vehicles ordered before March or delivered before March? Or did it not say anything about that?
That was really confusing. I just delivering the news. So the way it's stated, it says, has announced that certain criteria of the federal consumer tax credit for electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid EVs will be delayed until March of 2023. Select Ford EVs are eligible for this credit for qualifying vehicles at least through March of 2023. I think they're just saying that the current rule will carry over to 2023.
Yep.
So it sounds like that I don't know, does it work every year you get another like refresh and so many vehicles can get it? I don't know. So it says that I still think that because it mentions that here you may currently qualify for as much as $7,500 in federal tax incentives for purchasing an all-electric Ford vehicle if you take delivery of your vehicle before January 1st. The Inflation Reduction Act, signed into law on August 16th, introduces additional requirements for eligibility. All of Ford's plug-in electric vehicles currently qualify for the EV tax credit amounts that were in place before the Inflation Reduction Act was enacted. Keep in mind that if you take delivery after January 1st, you may not be eligible for the $7,500 federal tax credit. So, yep. Yeah. So things have changed a little bit, and I think too some of it I think that you can, depends on how much deposit you put down. You could say in some that was a binding contract, possibly. And so that would work if you have one that's on order, it's being built, and if you already put a deposit down. We actually did a $500 deposit, but I think I was trying to figure it up. I think that they're saying in sometimes you can, if it's a like certain percentage of the price of the vehicle that you put down already, that's a binding contract that you saying you put a deposit down, you're going to buy it. And so I think I figured it up. It was $1,000.
Yeah.
So whereas most dealerships, the default for their order on their Lightning is $1,000, we changed ours to $500 because we didn't think customers wanted to pay the $1,000, and now it could be a disadvantage to those that have one on order before the end of the year. So.
Yep. Raptors fangirl says my Mav EcoBoost build date got pushed back twice. Now for January 5th, and dealer says it was locked. Does lock status mean it's likely to be built that date and not get pushed again? Lock just means it can't be changed.
I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
I think they're probably saying that it's not amendable,
Yep.
and that nothing can be changed on the order.
Because I keep getting that notification on orders that I go to change for
Yeah,
people.
you can't amend it, but it doesn't mean it can't. It can still be moved. So.
Engineer in despair. What about Bronco Big Ben capacity?
Well within the capacity.
Yep.
So I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I think their capacity is like 23%, if I remember right. It's Maverick. Here it is. Big Ben, 23% capacity. 8% of the orders currently in the system is Big Ben.
Yep.
So yeah.
Kenneth Nakamura? Well, the dealer told me my priority code. Yes.
They should. It's on your order sheet.
Yes. If you see your order sheet to sign,
yep. If you have it. If you have a copy of your order sheet, which the dealer should give you that, it's on there.
Yeah. Jamie Pina says, sorry, just tuning in. Ordered a hybrid XLT Maverick with McArthur. No extra options. Got an order confirmation on September 16th. What are the chances I actually get the truck next year?
Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, if you have you ordered on that first day and you have hybrid XLT, I think the chances are really good. That's kind of what I was saying. And you can go back to the topic. We'll have timestamps tomorrow.
Yep.
But it was about an hour. It looks like about pretty close to an hour in. So about an hour into the video, hour and 5 minutes maybe. We went over that, but that's basically saying that if you had an early order first or second day, I wouldn't touch it. I think you'll get scheduled. So how long it takes is a totally different story, though.
Yeah. JNC Henderson says, I went from a Maverick 19 code to a Priority 11 on an XLT luxury hybrid. Thought on it if it gets built soon. Yeah,
you just jumped your priority up to 11. So it depends on how many other orders they have that are a 10 and 11. But the only way somebody else will be looked at before yours is if they're party 10.
Yep.
So.
T3.270 says, thanks Sarah, to you and Tim spending so much time helping people. Most dealers give us the runaround and do not tell us facts. You guys rock and should be the standard other dealers model. Yep. Thank you. Right.
And you're correct.
D-Rides, Merry Christmas to you all. Hashtag Tremors for Christmas.
Yep, we haven't seen one yet. We only have a couple of days left.
Yep.
We'll see.
Gregory Crouch, if you put at Lowell McArthur in front of your question, we can see it.
Thanks for. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for the it tags that.
Yeah.
There's so many scrolling in here. Questions that we. Sometimes
we're looking for the Sarah.
Yeah.
Or Lowell McArthur.
If you could go ahead and post your question with at Lowell McArthur, that would help. And
Yeah.
we'll make sure we get it. And we're way behind as well.
Yeah. So right now we're doing that. Oh, yeah. D-Ride said that. Thank you. Freddie Clark says, do you believe order date matters regardless of what Ford says?
I do.
Yep.
I mean, there's got to be a tiebreaker there. I mean, because if you the first thing that's looked at is priority code.
Yeah.
10, if you're a 10 or not, and then the second thing that's looked at, besides your configuration and how it's configured, there's something there, and it's the order date.
Yep.
I mean, it has to be. There has to be a reason. Last year, I think what they're saying is last year they tried to schedule based on that order date.
Yeah.
Period. Bar nothing, because they wanted to make sure those were scheduled. So I think last year that was it was a bigger deal that they were trying to schedule the older orders first.
Yep.
But we still did see it happening with other orders being pulled ahead of them.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Joe Bazak says, love your show. Do you have the current list of deleted options and constraint options for the ICE F-150 XLT?
All we have is the commodity of the percentages and such. It's just on the regular F-150.
Yeah. That's what ICE is, right?
Yep. Internal combustion engine.
Yep. I'm not sure. I never know what the acronym is for, but I know it's a regular F-150.
The only things they're listing is like the appearance packages. All the appearance packages are right within the capacity for the most part. And then tonneau cover, take those off. Wheel well liners, they're actually barely within the capacity on those. Spray and bed liner, that's a big one that's on here, but other than that, they don't really list anything else. So, but yeah, they're not listing anything else.
Yeah. AH says, would adding all-wheel drive to my EcoBoost XL affect my build chances in any way?
That, along with your trim and the motor, will move your order dates. Again, whether or not you believe Ford.
A lot of people are saying good night, Merry Christmas, have a safe holiday.
Did we get that question from
right here? West says, what can be changed after order on a Lightning?
About anything. We had one of our members actually that ordered an XLT Lightning. He went 311A, and then he realized that for only $5,000 more, he could go to the 312A. So we made that change in his order after he had ordered. So there are still a lot of things that can be done. Trim, I don't know. I haven't tried to change a trim.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it should be good. Did he actually? I wonder that there was somebody that said that we kept missing his
yes,
question.
I was just looking back.
He might have left the stream.
I'm looking back.
We try. Can be perfect.
Gregory Crouch. Yes.
So maybe scroll up, and we can see if we can find this. We could try to answer it. We try.
That's what I was doing. Yeah. Well, and then it doesn't help that when you are scrolling down, because it kicks you down if someone comments.
It probably kicked down below. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not even seeing a comment.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There.
I have a hybrid early order XL with priority 19. What's the chances of getting built? For Gregory Crouch.
That priority 19 is the kicker, and also, you might need to see when you ordered, just like we talked about earlier, so.
Okay. And then, do we answer AH?
Oh, probably answered this already, but I changed my MAV hybrid XL, no options to EcoBoost yesterday. Dealer says XL should be okay to get built, not necessary to go XLT. Your take. Again, You know, that's similar to the hybrid. But you have a hybrid XL, which is actually double whammy for you there. But you know, no options to EcoBoost. So whether you go to an EcoBoost now, going to EcoBoost itself,
Yeah.
maybe you might need to go EcoBoost XLT.
Yeah.
You know, to get scheduled, but really depends on the priority and such, and within their orders and when you ordered. It has a big effect on that too. So you might find out if you were an early order there. If you're ordered the first couple of days, like we mentioned earlier, that might be something to consider as well. So
Yeah. I forgot to shout out MTK became a McArthur member.
all right,
Thank you. All right, RCR 0591. I went from a hybrid Lariat Lux with priority 19 to an EcoBoost all-wheel drive Lariat priority 10. Did I do good, or think I should have stayed in regards to the time and actually getting the truck? Well, if you went from a 19 to a 10,
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Regardless of what order you have, a 10 is going to be looked at before a 19.
Yep.
So your order was always going to, and right now will be looked at first.
Yeah.
Again, depends on when you had originally ordered. You know, so it looks. I mean, you're in a setting pretty good. They got them to do a party 10. So you could actually. Some people go in because some dealers don't care.
No.
They don't even know what they were like. Okay, well, they may look at the order. To them, they look at orders, and maybe a customer isn't important to them. A face and a name isn't important. A customer's a customer to them. A deal is a deal. So you go in there and say, what's my priority? I'll notice it's 10. Any way you could give me a priority, or can you give me a priority 10? And they might go, sure. And they might just change it and not know how it impacts the other people that are already at 10. And they may not even realize that the people they have at 10 are the ones that were carryover orders. And so they just put yours in with their carryover orders. But it's always with a shot, and whether or not your dealership does that. But we won't. So
James Bick says, I changed my Maverick XLT hybrid with trailer hitch to a XLT Tremor with spray and bed liner. Now priority 10, original order on September 15th. I would say that's good.
Yeah, I mean, you had an early order anyway, but back then you couldn't order a Tremor on the 15th. It was like the 19th before you could order a Tremor.
Yeah.
So
and Tremor's below.
It's within capacity.
It's within capacity.
Easily.
Yeah.
So, and you're a priority 10, so it's going to be looked at first.
Yep. J-Rod says, I requested a 23 the same night orders open, and I received a confirmation. Last Saturday, I received an update. Is this a good sign? Yes. Yep. If you're getting the emails, you're good. That means that your order is in. Brits Hikes says, I was early order with my dealer for Hybrid XL and got priority 10. Should I ask them about allocation if they're over? Order place, does my code matter?
Since you're priority 10, I wouldn't worry about it.
No.
So, and you said I was an early order and you're priority 10 both. You should be fine. You shouldn't have a problem getting scheduled.
Yep.
So.
All right. John Michael Sabatino. My XLT all-wheel drive with Lux package, black appearance package, Copilot 316 4K tow was built last week. Very surprised. How long should I expect to wait until delivery?
About 4 weeks.
Yep. All right. Alan says, Merry Christmas. See you next Tuesday night for one and all. John Ellen, are you planning to have usual schedule for YouTube and Facebook during this holiday period?
Yep. So because we're working through Friday.
Yeah.
And so, Thursday night I plan to be on Facebook Live, and then next week, same way.
Yep.
Tuesday and Thursday night.
Because we come back Tuesday.
Yep. So should be able to. And also
here.
Friday, for the members, those Friday live streams as well, we'll be able to hit both of those
If
too.
there's ever a time that Tim can't do a video, like a live stream, he always makes a video to announce it. So
Which should be good.
Yep. So if you're watching the Facebook channel that day, he will make a he'll make a video.
As a dealership, we are going to close this weekend. We're going to be closed Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, which we normally close the Sunday.
Yep.
We're closed Monday in observance for Christmas Day. So we are closed Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yep.
Most dealerships probably won't do that. I guarantee you, most dealerships are probably working Saturday and Monday. We are, and then the week after that, we're going to be closed Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. That's the first time I could say in 20 years.
We aren't closed Christmas Eve. That's Saturday. They're open.
Are you sure?
Yes, I
think
checked
so.
today because I thought they were closing for New
All right.
Year's Eve. They're
Then-
open.
But we are closed 2 days, so it must be then Sunday, Monday, then
Yes.
next week. I was gonna
Sunday,
say,
Monday.
because usually Christmas Eve we're here till like
Yeah.
10 o'clock
Yeah.
on New Year's Eve,
'cause
trying to close out
so
the
many
year.
people want to
Yeah,
their
it's crazy.
vehicles in, yeah.
But yeah, so we are gonna be off 2 days next week, but we are closed 3 days for Christmas, Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah.
and Monday. So trying to get a hold of us on Monday, the 26th. You're gonna
Yep.
have to wait.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Last question. Herman Shine. I have a 22 Bronco Raptor build that got pushed to 23 and received my COVP November 7th. But I think priority code is 19. What should I do?
Bronco Raptors are manually allocated.
Yes.
So what they do is they say, okay, as a dealership, when your dealership gets one, like 1 week, they told us, hey, you're getting 2 Bronco Raptors. Which of your orders do you want selected first? And then they told them. So the priority code isn't as important on the Bronco Raptors, because they're manually allocated, and they usually ask the dealership which
Yeah.
orders they
He
want
says
selected next.
He says
So,
he's trying to get scheduled.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you should pretty soon. But the dealership has so many Raptor allocations in a year. So they do know that the 22s, they're going to make sure they get scheduled. I don't think you're going to be able to order a new 23 Raptor
Yep.
when they open up. I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to try to, because I think they had told us last in the fall that they weren't planning. They wanted to make sure that they get all the 22 ones scheduled and taken care of.
Because
So
I did get a question about that today as well. What can I do to further getting scheduled? There's really nothing a dealer can do.
yep. All right.
Good night.
Anything else? No? Well, everybody have a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are able to see get and
Happy
touch with
holidays.
happy holidays for everybody else, and have a great week and weekend. If you're going to be with me Thursday night, great. I'll see you then. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Right? Anything else?
I don't think so.
No, nothing else. Well, don't forget to stay positive, be kind to each other, and be kind to yourself. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.